Computer. Alrighty. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. We are here to talk about the institutional hierarchy and kind of like the structure and ownership of it at a high level.
And let me give just a quick preface. You had mentioned that I was the impetus for the TKT today. So this all stems from me being assigned a ticket. I'm sorry for the background noise. I really am.
That's okay.
Let's see if we can find the ticket.
You were assigned a ticket.
I was assigned a ticket. Let's see if we can find the number. Good God.
She's got good lungs.
This one does. She really does. So the ticket was. It was about. I have to dig through. Maybe we can somehow include it. The ticket number, but what was it? It was from Chrissy. She said she couldn't. It was some USM 2 courses, I think, some UNAB courses. Yeah. So she couldn't see them because the courses were not assigned to the right nodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I had contacted you and was like, hey, I just need to add these nodes, right? And then we went down this path of, well, how are the nodes actually supposed to be added? What failed? And I got to understand the back-end processes that are supposed to add the node associate to the courses, the logic behind them, and why these particular courses were not had the node association added to them.
Yeah.
And I'll find the ticket and put it in the...
No, and thank you, Jess, for summation. So, yeah, and so it was something that'd be beneficial to, if he wasn't sure about it, and then Rashab's like, oh, I'm not sure about it either. I'm like, all right, well, I'll include everybody just to get the knowledge here. We'll start. Let me share my screen. And I apologize if some of this is redundant for people. Please let me know once you're seeing. Should be looking at a.
Looks good.
Okay. So we're starting with. I'll start Prod 3 because that's got the most kind of automated things set up. You are all familiar with the base areas of EPTI training in Walden University. All of the associations for EPTI, around. I really wish you could do this view, but in the middle. But you've got the course type and non-EPTI staff. So you're getting the courses associated to the master non-term, term, and section, and eventually other once I have time or someone has time to update the script, are automatically assigned there. Also, all the students associated to the sections are associated there, and that's so that the EPTI people through self-enroll can look up, who have access to that section node can look up by user or the courses themselves. Then they've also got this non-EPTI staff node. This is basically anybody who's not a student is being associated there. And this is being run from a script that kicks off in the global backbone node. I think it runs hourly. And like I said, this is I'm not going to dive into that script. I think we've had TKTs on it already. But I want to make you aware. So it's what's maintaining all the automated assigned things here. But keep in mind and it's also assigning general EPTI users and I think CDL EPTI users to the right places. Actually, I don't think it is. I think I did that manually, and then going forward, any of the new EPTI or CDL people have to actually be associated to the right node. So if they're CDL, they get course type. If they're just general DTL, they get master non-term. And then, of course, the EPTI admins are a manual thing. So you've got some things associated automatically, some things manually. When we start looking into the training structure is 100%, or that node is 100% manual. When we look in the Walden University side, we've got these 3 structures set up. You've got college, and this structure is being maintained automatically by the integration with Banner. And it's assigning sections at each of the college level here. The data, there's not an actual right now institutional hierarchy association file coming out from Banner. How this is working is the course categorization that was in place is being converted from course categories to colleges. Because that's how they matched up. And so that's being done as part of the Delta conversion. What is being sent, so the actual course assignments is done through the Delta conversion. The structure of this, and also what's also being assigned is student associations to the bottom level at the concentration level, is being done by a separate integration setup for, was that the EAC tool, I believe, Steve? For the EAC tool.
Yeah, that's where it originated from.
Yeah, but I saw this is something we could also use for self-enroll access and also for the section college association. So I was like, okay, let's get this. So you've got kind of you've got the EAC integration, maintain the structure and the student associations, and then you've got the Delta conversion data processing, managing the section assignments within the college structure. And we've also got this course evaluation structure. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to open up EAC program. This is being maintained by another integration of Banner directly for enterprise surveys. Let me actually, excuse me. Where's the SIS? I don't remember which one it is. I think it's this assignment one. I'm waiting for this to load up. Yeah, the assignment of courses to, sorry. The assignment of courses to this course evaluation, they'll either get the FXP, the researcher standard. That is being done by files posted from TIBCO to a data integration. It's not being done through the SAS controller. That's the only example here that I'm aware of. The college structure and those associations are coming as part of the USW and EAC integration. And then we've got this third structure, EAC programs, which is actually used for mapping the EAC interface categories to the specific programs in this structure right here. And that is something that was manually set up and is manually maintained. Steve worked with them to do this mapping exercise, built the structure. And so anything that needs to be, there's nothing associated here, no scripts running against here. It's just EAC interface uses the list in here for its filtering options. And so any changes to this need to be done manually. So that's the structures in Prod 3 and kind of where, what's assigned where and how they're supposed to be getting there. Any questions or other information you want me to go more into? Is this what you're kind of looking for information-wise, Jesse? Mr. Fergus?
Couldn't find the unmute button. Yeah, this is good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'll do the same thing in Prod 2 and Prod 1, but they're fairly straightforward in those that I recall. I have to log in all these ahead of time to have everything already ready, but that didn't happen. No, okay.
Hey Phil, are you recording this?
I am.
Oh, you are. Okay. I will just go back and look at the recording. I want to create that priority ticket with Blackboard.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Yep. So when we look in Prod 2, we've got the EPTI structure, similar to what you see. So that's going to be, this EPTI structure is going to exist in Prod 1, Prod 2, and Prod 3. And it's all being maintained by the same script in the global background node, same general requirements, and also, so it's the same code, but there are different cron data entries on the global background node. So if you need to if you're doing maintenance in Prod 1 or Prod 2 or Prod 3, you can turn that one off. We do have some other structures here for these. Back in the day, all these schools their associations for USN S1, USN1, Miami, and Kendall were being done as part of the hybrid or the Delta conversion process. They were associating their user and courses to the top level. Miami does have a separate course type process that's set up a long time ago for them to use the LCX, or excuse me, it was set up for Miami for them to use with enterprise surveys. It's got bugs in it. The process still runs. You guys probably still see errors about it periodically. I mean, it's doing it. I just don't know how well. It's not something I looked into. I don't think it's something even the people who would ask for it, I don't think you are with Laureate anymore. So, but it is there. So that structure is being maintained. You get the LCX partnership. That's a separate integration of feeding like UNAB students into Miami. Those associations are made as part of their integration. That integration has a lot of problems. Some of it's currently off. I think I had an email from them. I think they're going to start working on that soon. So you've got kind of like Kendall no longer doesn't matter. Augustine does institution hierarchy node association as part of their data integration. But as you can see, none of them really have a structure, so it's very simple, just assigning users and courses at the top. I think Prod 1 might even be more simple. Actually, no, Prod 1's a little less. Now I think about it. Because you've got, when we look at, so Gleon has a very small footprint. I think there's maybe 40 users still in the system that are considered active, so they're just teach out, but they don't have any structure other than at the top. EPTI has the same setup that you saw at the other environments, managed by the same script. Liverpool and Roehampton do actually have a college structure built, and that is something where for each of those, there's a separate integration set up with Banner to send over the associations. So and you'll see them here. The Liverpool and Roehampton IH associations. So as you see, they're separate than their Delta files. I think it's once a day those are being sent. I don't 100% remember off the top of my head, but it is a separate integration for assigning, I know courses and I think users as well to the colleges that are there. But the structure itself, I believe, is just manually set up. So if they need a change to the structure, that's something that's going to be requested. I don't think that's obviously at this point, I don't see that changing at all, especially since Liverpool is into a teach out, and I'm not sure what the plan is for Roehampton, but I think it's going to be the similar thing. So yeah, so you're seeing they're just sending us user and course association files. I believe both of these are an all or nothing type thing. So you've got slightly more, the course type was something I was planning on implementing for every school, because with that way we did have one requirement to not only be able to segment for EPTI across schools, but also to segment by course type within the schools, but it never got implemented. But you'll see that structure in some places where I'd set it up just in case someone needed it. So Prod 1 does have a couple other structures in the schools that are maintained by data integrations, as well as the EPTI one. Any questions on Prod 1, Prod 2 that we went over, and then also the stuff we talked about in Prod 3?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, no, I think it was too as well. It's just realizing, I mean, it's probably something if I ever put this all in some type of wiki article, it might be very useful that way. You would know, oh, there's a course missing from an EPTI admin. Yes, I could manually add that, but that could be potentially I could manually add it in the short term to deal with the immediate issue, but I need to look at the script and figure out why it wasn't added itself. So that whether or not the idea of this discussion was kind of for you to know whether or not you needed to look deeper into an integration to figure out why the association was not made, or you just need to manually make it, and you can be like, okay, that's it. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Jesse, you're good? I didn't realize I lost Steve and Rashab.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, I'll try. Like I said, I'll try and get this stuff slapped up in a quick wiki article. But I wanted to have this discussion at least, so everyone should have a baseline of that they know when associations are missing, that they may need to look deeper than just creating the association. So thank you guys.
Cool.
Have
Thanks,
a
Phil.
good rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, Phil.